Know yourself, the key to meaning and fulfillment. There's a note I really spent hours meditating on, and it says, know thyself, then you know thy creator. The above quote holds great wisdom. Such wisdom can fully be understood by digging into the depths of its meaning. At first glance, through these quotes, knowing yourself simply mirrors your knowledge of your creator. Personally, this quote redirected my attention. It has changed everything about my world. This is the most enlightening experience ever. The more you ruminate on this message, the more insights you get. How can you know yourself? The path to self-knowing is an endless journey. It goes beyond your physicality, your senses, or your emotion. Self-knowing comprises of the following elements. 1. Your limitations. What are your limitations? How far can you go? How much can you do? If you think you have limits, think again. Your only limit is in what you think of yourself. Once upon a time, no one ever believed or could even imagine an object as heavy as an airplane would fly in the sky. You can go down the list of inventions that were once considered impossible to achieve. It was due to what was once considered human limitations, but not anymore. The moment you recognize that you have no limits, you begin to get rid of impossibility thinking. You have an unlocked power waiting for you to unlearn your limitations. I'll say that again. You have an unlocked power waiting for you to unlearn your limitations. Second element we look at is your strengths and weaknesses. There's a quote that says, disown your weaknesses and embrace your strength. This doesn't mean you should turn a blind eye on your weaknesses. However, your weaknesses could become your strength if you work on them. Questions on your strengths or weaknesses are common ones in job interviews. Interviewers basically use this to assess how well you know yourself. Also gives them a concrete idea of who you are. Be sure if you are the candidates they want. You're a combination of strength and weaknesses. Both are to your advantage. And the second element to look at, your freedom. Are you totally free? If we do not have freedom of will, consequently, we are not accountable for our actions. Freedom is an empowering value. It gives a higher meaning to our human existence. In truth, everyone is born free, but it takes real mental power to exercise freedom. The consciousness of being a free person empowers you to make great choices. Certainly, you are free to make choices. You're also responsible for the consequences of the choices you make. Your freedom is accompanied by consequential responsibilities. In as much as you are totally free, morality or ethics are in view to check your actions. In the face of ethics, you are not free to do as you wish. Freedom comes with its own rules, and you must play by them. Freedom with no set rule could be destructive. Everyone must play by rules. This is how we are all connected to the great order of things. The third element to look at, your belief. Do you believe in yourself? There's a famous quote by Henry Ford. Whether you think you can or you can't, you are right. Self-belief helps you overcome doubt, fear, and despair. Faith is stronger than mere knowledge. It is something no one can take from you. No one can argue you out of what you believe in. No amount of rational knowledge can overcome doubt. Doubt can only be defeated by belief. Fourthly, you are not your career. How well can you describe yourself without an element of your career or job interfering? Basically, when you ask someone for a brief introduction, they tend to describe themselves by what they do for a living. This is obviously as a result of how much their job consumes their life. You mean more than your 9 to 5 job. Being successful in your career is far from who you actually are. There's more to life than your job or career. Unfortunately, so many people are totally consumed by their careers and have forgotten who they are. However, if you find meaning and fulfillment in your career, you may actually be on track. Your career should readily translate to a good cause you are willing to dedicate your life to. In addition, your career should continuously present challenges that you're happy to surmount. A career should be a cause that makes you feel useful to the world. Another element to look at, you are not your religion. Religion has done great damage to people's ability to think. It enslaves your mental power. Besides, religion has only succeeded in creating division. It has caused a man to be at war within himself. Religion has forced many to become slaves. In general, religion is a man-made idea to interpret reality. It was designed primarily to exercise control over human behavior by dictating morality. Religion uses fear as a tool to drive its agenda. It is a slave-driven agenda. In addition, a religious mind is constantly in search of a deity, a being higher than himself to serve as a slave. When a religious mind can't find anything higher than himself, it creates a model of one. Religion promotes slavery. It denies you of your strength and abilities. It is a threat to your freedom of will. Now we're going to look at another part or another element by which you can discover yourself, your spirituality. I'll consider this to be the last element on this podcast. Now, do not confuse religion for spirituality. We are spiritual beings by nature. Spirituality takes us to a heightened state of awareness. It helps us to realize our full potentials. Furthermore, spirituality allows us to attain liberation from self-inflicted pains and confusion. Also, spirituality empowers us with great intellectual abilities, the ability to think and provide solutions to problems. Knowledge of your spirituality would help you create new life-affirming values that give you higher meaning. Spirituality connects you to a constant flow of supernatural energy. With this in mind, you will always feel a sense of joy that transcends anything that's happening around you. Can you fully know yourself? There is no absolute knowledge of who you are. You cannot attain absolute knowledge of yourself. Also, you can't arrive at self-knowing through others. However, you can reach a point of enlightenment that can make you ascend to the heavens. You can experience an infinite level of insight that is godlike. Clearly, you are a very strange creation. The more you get to know yourself, the stranger you become. Because the knowledge will help you unlock great powers you never knew you had. Knowledge is power, especially knowledge of yourself. My final note here is the real fundamental problem of the human being is the failure of self-awareness. When we fully know who we are, we know why we are here and how we can navigate through this world as happy people with great fulfillment. Ultimately, I believe that if we relentlessly search deep within, we realize that we are not different from our Creator. Thank you very much for listening to this podcast or this audio version of my blog. I would appreciate your support to my blog by visiting blog.jesusspecials.co.uk. See you next time. Thank you.